Hey guys, welcome to my first English video. Normally I do German content, but since I want to reach out to all the other people in the community, I decided to change my content to English. And today's video is kind of like the videos you might know from Pinata or Rev, where we comment on the gameplay, and today I have some very exciting Yuumi gameplay for you guys. But Zoinator, aren't you like high elo? And you are also a very good player and handsome? Why don't you just play Zoe and hard carry every game? Well, the thing is, to carry with Zoe is pretty exhausting. Even though it might be fun as well, after like 2 or 3 games, usually I'm way too burned out to play more games of Zoe and hard carry, and usually I make huge mistakes which lead to me losing more than I usually would. So after this brand game, for example, I was pretty burned out already, but I wanted to continue to climb on my main since I want to get back to Masters by the end of the season and also maybe try to play against the world players that are currently on the EO West server. So I asked myself, what champ could I play, even though I'm way too tired to actually play the game, to still climb? And the answer was Yuumi support.
I wonder if anyone's in chat. Hello? Hello? There are so many weirdos here. It's awesome! Whoop! Wanna see something neat? This'll be fun!
So let's jump into the first game. We have ourselves an Ezreal who is very skilled. As I said, this is Diamond 2 Elo, so he's easily able to dodge this. Wait. What? Yeah, that's just a little mistake, but at least he has very good map awareness, so he sees the Nidalee very early and positions correctly. As we can see, Ezreal? Ezreal! Wait. Yeah. This is why we play Yuumi. Usually if you have such an ADC, you just lose the game as support, you cannot really carry, but I have other plans. I just sit on my very lovely Kayn here and let's go on an adventure. As we are watching our very skilled ADC down in the bot lane, we are getting surprised by an enemy Nidalee who tries to invade the Kayn, thinking she's ahead, but Kayn already has a cute cat, so he just tells Nidalee to fuck off. Then Kayn tries to gank the one that can't be ganked, but due to the fact that there's a little cat healing all the teammates up to full health whenever they get any damage, this gank is actually working. So at this point the enemies are just farming KDA on this Ezreal, which is actually pretty good for us because we can get some shutdowns from them. And also they get baited into killing the Ezreal more and more, and they get overextended, which we can then punish. This was skilled. So at this point Kayn is pretty much undying and we are just hunting down the enemies. This Nidalee, who was pretty ahead early game, is just getting one shot without any counterplay. She can't escape and she can't do any damage to my Kayn, and he is able to just face tank all of the enemies at once. And before you say, yeah, but this Kayn is just very good. Yeah. And the nice thing about this strategy is that the ADC that should be very useless by now is actually not that useless because he got that much solo XP and he is able to get some kills in those skirmishes with the junglers that got ahead because of you. Like here, you can see the Ezreal getting 2 kills and the Kayn once again failing his jump over to the Baron pit. What a very skilled player. And the rest of the team fights in this game pretty much explained by one sentence. No one of my teammates was able to die, because I just healed them back to full life whenever they got kind of low. That is very balanced. Thank you, Riot. And just like that, we got the first win on Yuumi support, which is obviously very deserved. 20 LP in my pocket, thank you very much, Mr. Riot. Moving on to the next game. Next game already looking very nice. My team is turbo griefing. Tom can just spam pinging the Viego. Perfect. As Viego is coming in, and one-shots the Jhin and the Nami. And of course you don't always lose the lane with Yuumi, sometimes you actually win, but that depends on your ADC, and yeah, most of the times you will not win. But this time the Nami and the Jhin, they were just very bad. I left my ADC alone regardless, because he was fine bot lane, and sitting on this Talon we were able to pick off a lot of kills because of his nice mobility. Always think about stuff like that. And of course, if you're like very bored and there's no one else to sit on, you can also just sit on the tank and make him even more undying, like in this situation. This works especially well if your ADC is already in a good position and he's not really getting attacked from anyone. As you can see, the Tahm-Kench is pretty much invincible, but since it's still the early game and he doesn't have that many defensive items, he eventually goes down, but at least we kill all the other guys afterwards, so that's still worth it. Just make sure that you're always in a position where you can jump on another teammate, so in case you see that the one that you're sitting on is about to die, you have to see if you have any escape path. If there's none, then just coin flip on trying to get one more heal, but if not, just jump on the other guy. You are the carry, you want to get your Dark Steel stacks rolling and carry the game. And in games where your ADC is actually fed, you can just sit on them, make them invincible, and also due to the adaptive force they're able to do a lot of damage, like shown here. And now at this point we just win, because I heal way too much and the enemies can't damage my teammates enough to actually get them killed before I can heal them. And therefore, even though they might be good players, they just can't do anything. So once again we got our very deserved 20 LP for the game, wrote subcap Uwu in the chat and moved on to the next 3 LP game. So this game we had a pretty good ADC, which is nice. We went to help mid lane and the Vex was overextending, so Poppy pinged the Kha'Zix was coming. The Vex ignored it and died, and afterwards spam pinged her jungler. You know, just the usual Diamond 2 stuff. But luckily we saved the day. The Twitch and I, we just completely destroyed the enemies. I had a small disconnect, but it doesn't matter since I'm Yuumi. So here the Twitch is just turbo carrying the fight, as we can see. It's very, very nice kiting, you know, standing still, face tanking everything. But you know, he has a Yuumi after all, so it doesn't matter. He just can't die. And once again we got ourselves a free win. We obviously just outplayed the enemies very nicely, got the 19 LP and moved on to the next game. Because the games on Yuumi are just not exhausting whatsoever. Here we have an incoming TP from the Urgot. Very nice, very nice. Always make sure to deep ward your lane for those occasions. Perfectly used teleport by the Urgot. Here you can see some true display of skill. Graves will obviously just kill the Akali here. Wait, maybe not. This combo is very balanced, as you can see here. We are obviously able to kill the Trundle here, which is just perfectly balanced. Oh god, Yuumi. Nice. And for those who think that Urgot is just a very good player, this ult is for you. But then again, he plays Urgot, so it doesn't really matter. He can just walk over this Aphelios and he doesn't have any counterplay. This Akali, pretty skilled player, obviously gets demolished by the very skilled Urgot. Yeah, that made sense. And once again, we are pretty close to a point where my team just can't die anymore because Yuumi just has too much healing. Which is especially broken with a champ like Urgot. And if you're one of the guys that thinks sitting in your ADC all game with full health and just spamming your E button is the way to play Yuumi, then fuck you very much. You are the reason why Riot is perma buffing this champion even though it's already overpowered. Just go out and kill the enemies. So here we get a decent gank, which makes the Lulu burn her flash. But then there's a counter gank from Elise, so we have to back off. Also we see the Yona roaming down to the bot lane, which is pretty scary, because Yona is a very broken champion, but thankfully this guy is just elo inflated, and he completely misses all of the 3 targets. Then when Malza finally comes roaming down bot lane, the Yona just flashes completely randomly, dodging nothing in the process.
We did it! We knocked him over!
And the bot lane just keeps pushing the wave, even though they knew that there were 4 people bot lane. This is Diamond 2, by the way. Overall, there's nothing much to comment about. I'm pretty much just trying to keep my teammates alive here, which is pretty easy considering I have a huge heal every 9 seconds. Here my Ash chases the Elise, which has quite a huge burst, so I jump out to get the extra shield, which just barely lets Ash survive it.
Do you want me to bury them?
But since Ash bought Shield Bow, she can here just walk into the Elise and Aphelios and just face tank them, which is very balanced. ADC in 2011, I guess. Here was one nice ult I did this game. Yeah, big plays and stuff. As you can see, this is quite boring. I'm actually bored from commenting on this, so I guess this is the last game I'm commenting on. Yeah. You have to be really sad to abuse Yuumi, honestly. Because this is just not League of Legends. This is basically just like hacking. It's fun for maybe 1 or 2 games and then it just gets boring. But if you want to flex on your friends with your nice elo, you know, I guess you can go for this. So that wraps up today's video. I hope you actually enjoyed it. I don't know. I hope the commentary was kind of entertaining at some parts, or like maybe educational. As you can see, Yuumi is just a very easy champion to gain elo with, even in higher elos like Diamond. As you can see here, I promoted to Diamond 1 after this game. And this is my match history with Yuumi. Nice.